Yay Networks.
Hi, Wild Ones. Welcome back to the Wild Rose podcast. I'm Whitney Rose.
And I'm Connie Daniels. Well, Whitney, it's been a minute. Whitney has, for all of you who don't know, Whitney has been gone for basically the whole month of June.
Yeah, if you haven't watched my Instagram, I've been home 3 days in the last month, but not consecutive days.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be home for one day here, another day here. It has been nuts. I went to the beginning of June. We started with Utah Pride here in Utah, and then after that I took off to Scottsdale for a week. From Scottsdale I went to Austin, then I went back to Scottsdale. I was home. I saw you like
for a
one
hot second.
Yes.
I think we did like a quick podcast.
Yeah, we recorded a podcast, the last one with Deb.
Yeah.
And then
wasn't she great?
and then I hopped on a plane to New York. From New York, I went to Richmond, Virginia, then to Baltimore, then to Washington, D.C. I ended up getting stuck in the Atlanta airport.
With all the thousands of travelers out there. That was insane.
Yeah, so I have a story about that in just a second.
Okay.
But then I just want to finish my travel because it's not done.
Yeah.
So then I came home I was supposed to be home 2 days, but I really ended up only being home one day because I got stuck in Atlanta. And then I took off to San Diego for Bobby's soccer nationals, and I was there for 6 days. I have now been home for a day and a half. No, 2 days. 4th of July.
Yeah, we got you for the 4th of July. You flew in early that morning. We got to be together. Our families got to be together for the 4th of July. Then yesterday, catch up day?
Yeah. And then I leave right after we record this. I'm hopping back on an airplane to go to Vancouver. I'm meeting up with my Prism partners. We actually are launching in our first retail store. Yay!
You are?
Yeah,
it's exciting.
Yeah, at the Cross in Vancouver. So
awesome. After
we record this, I'm literally running back to the freaking airport. But I'm excited to go open that store. We're doing a little selling launch event, and then doing a photo shoot because we have a new Prism collection coming out. So.
Oh my gosh! That's
and
exciting.
then I get home Monday, and I am not doing a damn thing.
I'm sure you're decompress, get back to reality in Utah.
So if you're exhausted listening to that list of cities, imagine how I feel.
I can't. I don't know how you do it. So
there's that TikTok that was plane, train, auto. What was it? Do you remember that? There's a reel or a TikTok.
I don't think it's that.
It was literally.
Is that what you feel like your life is?
Yes, I've lived. I haven't even unpacked my beauty bag. My skincare is all packed up. My makeup's all packed up. My jewelry's packed. And I've just been going.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, I want to hear a couple of things. One, I want to hear about you being stranded at the airport and having to sleep there.
Okay. Yeah, that was
then
crazy.
Then I want to get into how you manage. How in the world do you manage? Because I know there's a lot of people who travel for business and work, but also there's just a lot of really busy people when life gets crazy. How do you stay grounded? How do you stay connected? How do you stay healthy?
Yeah,
so we'll get into that. But let's hear.
No, I have some funny stories for you. Okay, so the most of my travel I had done was for Pride.
Mm-hmm.
I was hosting drag shows.
And how did that go?
Okay, it's so much fun. New York is always amazing. Have you been to the Spot with me? Or you weren't there yet? I flew in before you.
Yeah, you did.
Last time we went to New York together.
Yeah,
so
BravoCon.
The Spot is always amazing.
Is that what it's called? It's a place called the
Barn.
Spot?
Yeah, the Spot Barn.
Barn?
Yeah, the Spot Barn.
Is it like a bar?
Yeah, it's a gay bar.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And
gotcha.
Marty Gold Cummings is the main headliner drag queen there, and I've become friends with Marty, and so I've done a few events there. But New York is always fun. I love my New York glam team. Like New York's always a party. Like it's just fun. Nothing too crazy happened there. But when I went to Richmond, which I didn't know what to expect at a drag show in Richmond, Virginia. I just first of all did not know.
Have you ever been there before?
No, never been there, but shout out to Sad Brunch Dollhouse. They put on the best show. But anyways, in Richmond, they did a Q&A, okay? And one of the audience members, no, this was in Scottsdale. Sorry, they're all blending together.
Oh, I'm sure.
So the Richmond one, though, one of the questions was if I like to suck toes. And I just stared at this kid and I was like...
Wait, you did a question, a Q&A from the audience?
It was a Q&A from the audience. And usually everyone always asks me like about housewife stuff.
Sure.
Like it's usually 90% housewives.
Yeah.
Like very rarely is it really something about me, right?
So this caught you a little off guard.
It caught me off guard and I thought about it and I was just like, what kind of question is that? You freaky like little guy. But okay, the weirdest one though was in Scottsdale. This woman was like, I have IBS.
Oh.
And then she goes,
wait, did she tell you this privately?
No, she's on the mic in the Q&A. And she's like, I have IBS. And then she goes, have you and Heather made up?
Wait, how did those tie together?
I just like stared at her. I like scanned the room and it was like the whole room went silent and there was like hundreds of people. And we're all just kind of like staring at each other like.
Was she prepping everyone that she was about to shit her pants?
She asked if I really made up with Heather in Thailand. Oh. So I asked her, I'm like, are you asking me if the Thai food made me sick? Or what are you asking me? And why is this tied to me and Heather? So random. Yeah. But
wow, people are so funny.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine. It's like a big party, and we're going to get into that later, how to stay healthy through all of that. But Atlanta Airport. Okay, so the last couple weeks, there's been so many flight delays. So many people have been affected by it.
So many. At the same time, I think right when you flew out of New York, our friends flew in, and they ended up getting stuck there. I think they shut down the airport for like 4 days or something.
Yeah.
Crazy. So everyone was stuck.
Everyone is stuck. And
hotels are booked out.
It's crazy because there was for me, it was the bad weather in Atlanta, but there was such a big heat wave that like tarmacs were melting and planes couldn't land.
Oh, really?
It's so hot that literally there was a fire in the Dallas airport flight control room. That's why all the planes were grounded.
Dang. I didn't know that.
I was in DC. My flight was delayed 5 hours and I finally got on my flight, but of course I missed my connection in Atlanta back to Salt Lake City. And every hotel was booked within like a 30-minute Uber ride.
Oh my gosh.
So I couldn't go stay in a hotel. I had a fan offer to take me to her house and she'd bring me back to the airport in the morning. But I was like,
so nice.
That's so sweet of you. But hell no, I'm not going to stay with a stranger. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So I ended up just like, what's the like old school? Like I slept on the airport floor, the Atlanta airport floor, and it was so many people were stranded that it felt like business as usual in the middle of the night. Like none of the restaurants or anything were open, but there were so many people that it just felt like a busy airport day.
Crazy.
But so I found this little tiny corner, and the Atlanta airport is big. You have to get on a train for all the different terminals, right? It's not really a fun one to be stuck in overnight.
Yeah.
I found this little corner that I thought, okay, this is private. No one's going to bug me. I have all my bags and stuff. And like when you fall asleep, you're like, is someone going to come take my Gucci duffel? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like wrapping all my purses and stuff around my body.
Yeah, you don't know.
And then my phone charger, because I had read that like the number one thing stolen in flight delays are like chargers.
Oh, really?
So I made sure my phone charger was
in your hand,
like in my hand because I was charging my phone. Okay, so
these are good tips, by the way.
Yeah, so
if you ever get stuck,
it's not what you think it is. It's like the necessities that people don't have on their body, right?
Right.
So, anyways, do you know that feeling when you just know someone's staring at you? Like you can feel it.
Yeah.
So I like would get that feeling occasionally, and then I'd kind of drift off back to sleep. I ended up taking something to help me sleep because I'm like, I have to sleep.
some
I have like
rest.
8 hours till my flight, if it even makes it.
Yeah.
I wake up to a woman filming me
Sleeping
on the floor. Because I felt such a strong, like someone's watching me, creepy vibe. I wake up and there's this woman crouched down filming me and just like, and then I wake up and she's like, "Hi, Whitney."
Oh,
It was like, I was like, ah! Like, I screamed. I was like, what the fuck?
you're like, that's not okay.
No, it's
That's
not
like, come on,
okay.
people.
Okay, if you see, I'm not even like a big celebrity. If I saw like, well, an A-lister celebrity probably wouldn't be in my position. But like, even if I did, I would sneak a video
Right, not go
from
right
a
up in their face.
distance and like zoom in and be like, look, so-and-so sleeping on the airport floor.
Right.
And so I was wondering, I'm like, how many people did that? Every time I felt someone staring, do you think I was getting photographed and filmed?
Maybe, but maybe not that close up.
No,
because
and-
that's pretty crazy.
I was just like, chick, personal space. Like it is 4 a.m.
Yeah, and that's creepy. And a lot of people don't know this about you, but you have a hard time sleeping anyway because you're like you wake up to feelings of maybe, who knows, different spirits and things around you. And so you're already a light sleeper anyway and aware of that. So that must have been really creepy for you to wake up to a face. And
Yeah. And she goes, "Can I take a picture with you?" And
What'd you say?
I was just like, sure.
You were
And then
still
she
nice.
then she wanted to like chit chat,
About
and
it?
I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Dang. People.
Yeah. But luckily, I ended up making it home eventually.
Yeah.
But I was like a full day late and then had to leave the very next day to San Diego. But
Crazy. It's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
You've probably.
And this is like major first world problems. And I'm sorry if I offend anyone, but I had to sit at the back of the plane. And I thought I was gonna die.
Whitney.
Not because it was
sit
like
at the back of the plane.
Yeah, I haven't sat in main cabin in years.
Girl, I
I
know there's a lot of people not feeling too sorry for you
No,
there.
but I forgot how bad the turbulence is back there.
Oh, it is.
Like
Yeah.
you get whipped around.
Yeah.
Like,
And you're in
I
a
was
little-
like
that
holding onto
tight.
the handles. Like
Dang.
this is
Was it
not.
scary?
Yeah, I was freaking out.
Well, I'm glad that you made it home safe, alive, and no one stole anything from you in your sleep.
Yeah, but I know I just got filmed. They stole my dignity, not my things. Fans are amazing, and then some fans are just really interesting. Mm-hmm. I signed another pair of boobs.
Oh, nice.
Like just the things that someone made me a CD. Like they road tripped like cross country from I can't remember where to Richmond, and they made me a copy of the CD that they listened to the entire way. And so I mean, it was an interesting.
Like, where do you have a place to play a CD?
No, I don't have a CD player.
I know. I'm like trying to think
But,
if I would have a place to even play that.
But Yvonne,
Thoughtful.
yeah, one of the drag queens that brought me out there with Sad Brunch, Yvonne Dior Michelle, she had one in her car, and we listened to it on the way to the airport.
Was it any good?
Yeah, there's some Britney Spears. There was a Don't Be Tardy. Do you remember Kim Zolciak from Atlanta?
I don't think so.
Anyways, her song was on there, and we got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
random.
but yeah, no, my fans are amazing. Like it was amazing, and I was really happy to see how many people came out to support Pride, to support the LGBTQ plus community and drag queens, because in most states drag is becoming illegal. So
Yeah.
and that's how these people make money.
Right.
So
It's true.
Yeah.
So are you going to do it again next year?
girl, I don't know. I don't know.
You had a little taste probably of what it feels like to be like like a rock star or like somebody who goes on tour. They legit are city to city to city, and I'm sure it all blends together, and like it's nuts. And some of these people do it for like an entire year. Like, can you imagine?
I very much did feel like almost like a pop star in a way, which was kind of cool, but it's hard. Like, I think the hardest part is if that was the only thing I was doing, then I could just focus on that and be like, I tried my best to be present and be in the moment everywhere, but I have my kids, I have my husband, I have Wild Rose Beauty, I have Prism, I have our podcast. Like, we have a lot going on. So I don't know how people do it for a year long, but I guess that's all that they do typically, and they have probably way more help than I do. Yeah. But
yeah, especially with young kids, if they have kids and stuff, because that alone, every parent out there knows that's a lot of work in and of itself. But.
Yeah, just like the emotional strain of like mom guilt of like being out on the road at these like hosting these events, and you know, my kids are having to scramble to get to soccer, and I'm missing them, they're missing me. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And Wild Rose Beauty, like, I'm just grateful it's at a place where it's like stable and runs itself, but it's stressful leaving your businesses behind too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and I know that Amberly and Chantel wanted to strangle me.
Yeah.
Probably. But I'm going to see them in Vancouver so they can take it out of me personally.
They can make up for it.
No, I think the most important thing, like, during that was taking time to be intentional with my day. Like, being around so many people is amazing, but it's an energy suck.
Yeah,
for sure. Not just energetically, but like physically, like you're being exposed to so much that it was really important for me every morning and every night to do a meditation and do like a cleansing ritual. Like,
what does that look like for you? Is this something you do on the regular anyway?
Yeah, I do it on the regular anyway, but I had to do it like extra. I actually do the ritual, the Kundalini breathing ritual on Chakra Girl's app, on that ritual. And
she walk you through it?
Yeah, she walks you through it, and it's just like breathing. It's that deep breath work. You know that what we do at like Recoup, where you breathe deep belly.
Mm-hmm. Like when we had Julie on, she kind of went over a little bit.
Yeah.
Belly, chest.
Belly, chest. So that's one form. This type of breathing is fire. It's rapid, like.
Oh, yeah.
So you build up a lot of heat and energy in the body, and you build it up, and you have a huge release at the end. And then I would just do a lot of, I can't remember which, I do a lot of different of her rituals. Like the one is really like staying grounded and connected and in your light, like like calling in light and abundance, walking in the path of light, walking in the path of love. Because while everyone's coming at you with love, that I definitely was getting some sort of like psychic attacks the whole time. Like there's like energy hooks that stick to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can't really pick which energy sticks.
Yeah.
Being around that many people and places and things like that. But the thing you were just explaining, was that like a meditation that she walks you through?
Yeah, it's a guided meditation.
A guided meditation.
Yeah.
Okay, I love those because I struggle. Obviously, meditating we hear about it all the time, and it's so good for all of us, but a lot of us have a hard time keeping our mind, from running to like, what do we have to do next? I don't have time to sit still or whatever it is, but like having a guided meditation is so helpful for me, especially because it helps me just keep my mind in the right place, on the right things.
One, it keeps you focused on what your intention for the meditation is, right? Mm-hmm. So, because I meditate every night before bed, no matter what, and it's on my own. I have my own little ritual that I do, but with how busy this was, and I mean, I would get home back to the hotel like 2 a.m. So I just needed something. It's almost like these meditations and releases, it just did it for me, like guided me. It was quick, it was fast, I could go to bed. And then in the morning, it was really important for me to take time to eat a healthy meal because you know how these drag brunches are.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm hosting, so all
You
I'm
don't
doing
really
is
eat.
drinking.
Yeah.
Like my diet is champagne and then pretending to take the 500 tequila shots that everyone wants to buy me. And you know, it's like hard because people, it's like, it's a gift they want to give you and
Right.
you're like,
and they want to share that little moment.
yeah. So it's, you know, it's hard. So
How
I
do you
really
do that?
learned.
You can't really throw it over your shoulder. Like, how did you pretend and slide it to
My
someone?
assistant, Jerwin. Jerwin would, or I'd give it to one of the queens.
Yeah.
Like,
So what you're saying is, now the cat's out of the bag that you're not drinking all these shots. So don't feel bad, everyone, that she's not drinking them. She just
yes, I
she
don't
wouldn't be
take
able
it
to see
personal.
straight.
I would die. Like I would literally die if I took every shot that
You would.
everyone gave me. But that was something that I learned like immediately. When I travel, I always take my, you know, you always have your big bag of pills, like your vitamins and everything. And
If I'm consistent with like water and my vitamins morning and night, I feel like
Yeah.
when I'm traveling a lot, it feels like, okay, I'm doing something good, putting something good in my body.
and I was really good at that this trip. I took my vitamins. I doubled up on like I did the emergencies and then the athletic greens. Have you tried those yet?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
So I made sure that I did that every morning and then I did a greens at night as well. And I just made sure I had 2 healthy, nutritious meals because most of the time it was like not eating all day and then we're going through a drive-through it because that's the only thing open, you know?
Right. Even like room service and stuff isn't really.
Well, and in one of the hotels, like rooms, I like missed the timing of room service. So that was like a big thing in drinking plenty of water and something that I learned how to do by the end of the trip, which I'm not good at, is say no.
Oh.
So when people, you know, like in New York after the show, everyone convinced me to go to Rise. And then the next thing you know, I'm at home at 4 a.m. and I have to get on a plane at 7. And it's like, that's not sustainable. So I learned how to say no. Like, no, thank you. Like, I really appreciate the invite, but I have got to go back to the hotel and take care of myself.
Yeah. So how did that feel? Because I know you're like me and just like to have a lot of fun and might have a little bit of FOMO, but did it feel good to do it? Or did it take a minute to just go, okay, this is okay. This is better than just...
Yeah, it was really hard for me because, you know, the peer pressure is strong, especially during Pride. And, you know, we're there to celebrate. And, you know, all the gays know I love to go out and dance with them. So it's like, it was really hard. But the last night that I did it in DC, I gave myself, I said, the night before I said, absolutely not. Like, I have to go to bed. I need to decompress and just relax my body. And you know how I feel about hotel bathtubs. So I couldn't take a bath, and that's my normal at-home routine. But I couldn't take one in the hotel.
Yes.
And I'm not going to go to the hot tub alone. That like is indoor. Like, it's weird.
I'm worried about public hot tubs.
I got, the last night I made a compromise, and I went to dinner, and then I went home, and it felt amazing, actually, to just like... to realize that I don't have to do everything for everyone else, that like my body, my health is more important.
Yeah, totally. Look at you growing up, girl.
I know.
So proud of you.
I know. And like, trust me, at that dinner, my friends were pushing me hard. Like, they were like, come on. And they kept buying me 1942. And I'm like, I'm not going to drink that.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm going to have my 2 glasses of wine and I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Dang.
Because I was like, girl, my feet are broken, my back. Like,
So you're basically saying this is how you made it back alive.
yes. And then when
By
I got home, did I show you the video? I was going to post it. And then, you know, when you kind of miss the opportunity to post. So I
miss them all the time.
Yeah. I landed because I was so late. I came home late the next day, like 30 something hours later. I had an IV and a massage waiting at my house.
Oh.
So, because one of my friends, because I usually, you know, I always go to Recoup for my massages with Julie, but my other friend, Philly, who I think you've met, she is also a massage therapist, and right now her and her friend are doing this deal where you get an IV hydration at the same time as your massage. So
no way.
she loaded me up with all the vitamins, extra zinc, vitamin C, and I did a lymphatic massage.
Smart.
So to
I bet
just
you
drain
needed
the
that.
body. Yeah. I'll show you
needed
the
it big
video.
time.
I'll post the video. It's actually hilarious because it's like we were trying to find that reel that it's like poker with a stick because I look dead. I'm like laying on the massage table in my guest room, just dead, like dead. And I have an IV. They're working on me and I'm not even moving. Like,
You probably felt dead.
yeah,
after all
but
that.
then the next day
How'd you feel?
got a good night's sleep. I felt okay. I definitely had to I had to like journal and get some things like off my mind.
Uh-huh.
And then I just took it easy. Like I worked from the couch instead of like sitting at my desk, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the hard thing was I had to do laundry. I had to do all the things because we left the next day.
Right. You know, all this stuff, I'm glad you're sharing it because I feel like it's so relevant for so many people right now. Like when we say, oh, I'm busy, it's such an overused word. Like we're all busy. It depends on your experience and what you consider busy is. Like I consider a lot less than what you've been doing very busy for me. But these things are important to like take care of yourself, be mindful like along the way, take a minute and, you know, just a moment and breathe because if you don't, it's all this stress from being so crazy busy and having so much going on, because life is not gonna slow down for you. It'll show up in your body.
Yeah.
And as like disease.
It turns into disease.
It does.
Yeah.
And so it's nothing, you know, I'm actually kind of going through this a little bit right now. My husband's so busy and, you know, there I'm using the word, but like has like about 5 different businesses and companies he's trying to like
that's completely
rotate through, and
overwhelming.
It's completely overwhelming and it's catching up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing it for quite a while now and now it's really catching up and it's showing up in his health. And I kept telling him like, I don't want to hound you, but this is going to show up in your health and then nothing's worth your health. Nothing. I don't care what you have going on, putting your health on the back burner, you're going to regret it. And what's that saying? Like if you don't take time for your health, it like, what is that? Then you have to like, if you
remember.
don't make the time for your health, then you will be forced to make it or something. I'm totally messing that up.
Yeah. The idea of it is like prevent it so that it doesn't force you later on.
Right.
And the other important thing is it's not just the physical manifestation, it's the mental.
Yeah.
Because it starts with the mental stress, the emotional stress,
Absolutely.
and then it goes to the body.
Right. And if you look at society today, in fact, I just went and visited my grandpa he's turning 98. And he always tells me every time I'm with him how we call work, like a job is work. He's like, work used to be real work, like on the farm. I know your grandpa's like this too. Was on the farm, it was physical work. Now people have to go get, you know, gym memberships and stuff. And it's just the way that our society is today. It's very different than 100 years ago. But he kind of teases us about it. But I'm like, Grandpa, like, yeah, that's just our life. But he does say, though, he does recognize how much more mental health issues that he didn't really understand. You know, they never talked about stuff like that back in the day. So it is very important to take care of your mind because I think that's probably what we struggle with, maybe even more so than our physical nowadays. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. And it's exactly what your grandpa is saying. Like back then, just think of the technology. Like he probably barely had one of those old school phones, if that.
You know,
he
actually told me that back then he remembers there was one house in the town and if you had a phone call, they came and physically got you and brought you over to the house and then you either called them back or they were waiting. And this is before like the party lines, if you know what a party line is, where you had to wait for your call and the whole neighborhood's on the same.
Yeah,
you could have sat and listened to people.
I know.
Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent
No,
on this.
I know, but it's
fascinating.
It's so relevant though, because think about that. To even communicate, you either had to walk to the person's house, you had to send a letter in the mail, and there was usually, because I know about this phone system too, just because of my grandparents. My grandpa's still alive, and then Justin's mom. We have the family heirloom phone in our bar, in our basement. So like, just think of like now, it's like we have a whole computer.
Yeah, like the whole world in our hands.
The whole world is in our hands at all times, and I just think that alone is like the big difference. I think that's caused a lot more mental health issues.
Absolutely.
I think back when your grandpa was growing up, people definitely felt anxious, depressed, worried, overwhelmed, because if something happened to the crop, how are they going to eat? How are they going to make money? Right?
Right.
So stress has always been there.
Sure.
But like your grandpa didn't have to think about like half the like it just was way simpler.
Right. I feel like our minds get cluttered with so much. So just to be still and quiet
Yeah.
is so hard. But if you think about them, like back on the farm, they had plenty of time to just be still and quiet.
Yeah, and just think.
And do their work.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's finding that balance in life. It always goes back to just trying to find us a balance in life. And what does that look like for you? You know?
Yeah, but for me, I definitely had to learn to say no to the party. Like, I couldn't sustain drinking, and everyone knows I'm a party girl. I love it. But, like, I had to learn to say no, and I had to carve out at least 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night for myself to just be still, quiet, meditate, do all my cleansing thing, and then, yeah, the vitamins, the food, the nutrition, the water. Because sleep wasn't really an option.
Yeah.
So,
right.
What is your go-to number one, like when you travel? Because I know Connie comes with handfuls of supplements. Like,
yeah.
I can't swallow pills.
Oh, that's right.
So like watching Connie take her vitamins, I'm always like, oh my God. She can pop like horse pills in her mouth.
It's true. I don't even know what all I take these days, but because then I find out about a new supplement. I'm like, oh, I need that too. And anyway, can't hurt. So I think, yeah, definitely vitamins and a lot of water. And when I travel a lot, I like to work out. But I think if it's like, if you're at a place or you don't have time or there's no gym or whatever, sometimes I'll bring those little bands and I'll just do like a little workout in my hotel room or some sit-ups, push-ups, like use the bands, just do it. I think just being mobile, like moving your body, like if you're at a place you can hike or swim or just move your body, I think you feel better.
I agree with you. That's a good idea. I'm going to take bands to Vancouver. Well, actually, there's a gym there. I don't know if I'm going to have time to work out, but I see it in my arms. My arms are not as toned, like...
From taking a month off?
Yeah, like and it is important to maintain your routine.
Right. And physically, like that for me is, obviously I love the physical benefits, but it's more of a mental thing for me.
For sure.
Because the endorphins from any kind of like physical movement, it just like, I need that. I can totally tell a difference if I go a day without.
See, I think I was getting the endorphins because I was like moving and dancing, but I'm like totally vain right now. I'm like, my arms, if I were to lead a church choir right now,
oh, shut up.
It would be very distracting.
She's full of it. For anyone that can't see her right now,
it's just my own personal, like comparing myself to myself.
Oh, yeah.
It's just how I feel. Like,
right.
Like I don't, this wasn't so tight a month ago.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But no, I think that everything, the more that I'm learning and the more like that we talk, and I know I texted you and called you from the road a few times, like just like being very intentional is what I've learned. Like even if it's, okay, I'm going to this brunch. What is my intention? What am I going to get out of it? What are my boundaries? What am I going to say yes to? What am I going to say no to?
You know what? I've found that's important lately too. Like even in our marriage, we went and talked to our favorite therapist, Tony, and we would come home a lot from going out. Like one of us would be mad or both of us would be mad. And he said like, well, why don't you just have an intention when you go out and talk about it before? Like, oh, I feel like partying till 2 a.m. And the other person's like, well, actually I'd like to get some more sleep tonight. So maybe we, leave at midnight or leave at 1, or you just kind of agree on some things before, just with an intention. Then you feel better. And I don't know, I fly by the seat of my pants most of the time, and then I have to just worry about it and regret it later. I usually don't regret it, but
yeah, well, you just have to deal with it later.
Sometimes I do. Yeah, you have to deal with it. So being intentional with everything you're doing, especially when life gets really crazy and busy, and if you just take a moment to have that intention, you will feel so much better of the outcome.
Mm-hmm. And it keeps you connected and grounded and in line with higher power, and you're going to always be able to receive, the messages that the universe and higher power, God, whatever you believe in, are trying to send you.
Yeah.
So
it's important.
Yeah.
It's important, people.
But I would love to sit and chit chat, Connie, but I have to go catch another plane.
Oh my gosh, here we go again. Did they know your name at Delta Sky Lounge in Salt Lake?
Girl,
all of the...
I walk up to Clear and they're like, Whitney! I'm like, I don't even need to go through TSA anymore.
You don't even need to bring your ID. You're just
I have my bartender, Misty.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've introduced you to her.
At the Sky Lounge,
people, it is funny when I walk into the Sky Lounge, which is like the Delta room. I don't know if people, it's like a...
What do you want to call it? Waiting room?
Yeah, I get access to it because, I just fly a ridiculous amount, so I'm a diamond. But anyways, I walk in and it's almost like I'm recognized just because I'm there so much, not because I'm a housewife.
Yeah.
I'm
sure probably
half the people don't even know what I do.
Yeah.
They're just like, you're here again. Here she is.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. And they love me because I always tip them well. Nice. And Misty is my bartender, so hopefully I see her today. But
is she the one who had a baby?
She just had a baby. She has 2 other kids, and she had a baby and went back to work 2 weeks later.
What?
Yeah, she took 2 weeks off.
Man.
So talk about working hard and hustling and being too busy.
Yeah.
Moms run the world, I'm telling you. Because she had, out of it, she has to.
Dang.
She has now another
hustler.
baby. Yeah. So I always,
Well, I'm going to miss you again.
I know. I wish you were coming with me on this trip. We tried to make it happen, but the next one.
Next one to Vancouver.
Yes.
Never been.
Yeah.
Be fun.
So I feel like we were all over the place today, but I think the point of it is to be very intentional. And no matter how busy you are, if it's work at home, running kids around, traveling,
take a moment for yourself.
Take care of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You only get one body, everyone, and one mind. So take care of it. All right. There's my preach for the day.
Yeah, but it was fun catching up. And again, thank you to everyone who listens and follows along. We have some really exciting guests in the pipeline. So the next few episodes that we're going to record are going to be amazing. We're so excited. We've been waiting to get these guests on. So, so if you haven't already, like our podcast, share it with your friends and family, DM us, and just know that we appreciate you and love you. And don't forget, be you, stay wild.
Yay Networks.